The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 14th day of August, 2024. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman. She's the Therese Hull, and Teo Dill will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. Therese, you showed up again. Welcome back.
Of course I did. I had so much fun the last time. I had to come back.
Yeah, well, usually Teo scares people off, so. Yeah.
Gotta try harder, Teo.
Yeah. It didn't work this time. We're thankful for that. But how was your weekend? How's
really good. It was really good. I went to this charm and necklace making kind of situation in the park, which was really fun. What about you?
I spent a lot of money. It was expensive, so I'm staying inside until like next summer.
Where'd you go? To the casino?
No, that's losing money. I had to get a new machine, a laptop, to kind of do this show. And did you know that, like, the way people in technology look, how obviously technology, computers become obsolete fast, but I didn't realize that they looked at it as like college is like a 3 to 4 year thing, 4 to 5 years, right? So lifespan of a computer is usually like 4 to 5 years, without getting it souped up. I hadn't even thought of that.
I mean, it's kind of terrible. Like, I don't like that's a thing, because even as a college student, the computer starts breaking down after 2 years.
Right.
So it's like you have to go back. But you should have told me. I could have given you my student discount ID or something.
So hold on. Check this. So I actually made the appointment to actually get my old laptop fixed. And then when I made an appointment, school went back in Florida on Monday, in South Florida. So when I went, it was like a circus in the Apple store, right? Because there was like children everywhere, and they had the discounts. So they tried to say I wasn't eligible for a student discount. I didn't look like a student, which is discrimination, because I can be one of what they call them, those older, mature students.
Mature students. Yes, exactly. It's very. You should have said so. You should have made a fuss. Then they would have been like, all right.
Therese, I didn't make a fuss, and they did give me a discount anyway.
Good.
So, yeah. I'm a mature student. Yeah. I'm sure Dr. Sam, our guest today, will appreciate mature students. Anyway, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome the newly appointed president of Bermuda College, Dr. David Sam. Really looking forward to having him on. The daily play is music today, Therese.
Oh, Jamel, I'm really scared. I'm really scared. I was thinking to myself, do you think like Jamel would say yes if I'm like, I don't really want to do the daily play?
No, I think you got this one.
All right. Okay, let's break the pattern.
Are you into music?
Yes, actually. I really love music.
Okay. This one's very easy. I think you'll get this. No, I'm not going to say very easy. Because Sherry and Sanchez say I say that, and then here comes the difficult question. So it's easier than probably last week's. How's that?
Okay, perfect. You know who will get it though? The audience. I don't know if they're Googling every second, but they always get it. I'm like,
They have Google ready, Therese. They have Google ready.
Well, let me get ChatGPT up. How about that?
No cheating. Don't be like the audience. Do better. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. So Let's do it. Traveling Trotty says, morning TDH. Thank you. I'm not a mature student. I am a non-traditional. And non-traditional students should not be excluded from the student discounts. Apple. Suzanne Ingham says, awesome Wednesday, Jamel and Teray. Awesome Wednesday to you as well. And Charles H. Jeffs II says, I really love music. Quote, Teray setting the bar high.
Charles, whose side are you on? Like, I'm confused. You're supposed to be on my side.
No, I don't know. This is war when we're doing this. Larry Mouse said, morning, guys. All right, well, let's jump into today's conversation, Teray. So we do have Dr. Sam coming up, but there was something in the Royal Gazette the other day, basically titled, Reserve Police Officers Join Shifts Amid Officer Shortage, right? And basically, the story goes on to say membership in the Bermuda Reserve Police has plummeted by more than 80% since 2001, the commandant of the organization revealed. Ron McCall Davis said that there were 150 strong when he and Deputy Commandant Sean Russell joined 23 years ago, but they now have only 25 members. Wow. Only 25 reserve officers. Anyway, Mr. Davis attributes the low numbers to a change in entry requirements, which are now identical to those in place for anyone who wishes to become a full-time police officer. That back when he joined, you signed up, had a home interview, and went to your doctor to get signed off. There was no physical, psychological, or written assessment. Now you have to go to the police doctor and have to take all the assessments, which I think is, I think if they're doing the job of law enforcement, that's necessary. But it also brings a bunch of other questions in line. I mean, here's the thing, Teray. And audience, the question of the morning is, what needs to be done to make a policing career more attractive to Bermudians? What needs to be done to make a policing career more attractive to Bermudians? And by reading that, some people will probably say, Teray, that, oh, well, we need to drop the standards and not include this stuff. How about we not drop the standards and we just improve education on certain levels to prepare people for careers that exist? I go back to Dr. Steve Perry, educator in the US, when my former boss, Scott Pierman, brought him to Bermuda in 2009. I echo this on this show all this time, that, we need to be preparing our children for things that don't yet exist. I completely agree with that. But we also need to prepare them for things that we know we're going to need. We have an aging population, right? So we know we're going to need caretakers in the next, 15 to 25 years. So I think this comes down to the foundation of preparing our children for careers that will exist for them. So, audience, the question again is, what needs to be done to make a policing career more attractive to Bermudians?
Yeah, I agree with you, Jamel. And in the article, it also said that the 25 reserve members are fully embodied, apparently. So there are like no more reserve members left. If everyone is kind of deployed. But I agree with you. I don't think the standards should drop. I think they exist for a reason, and they're doing a really important job. But what are the gaps? Like, why aren't Bermudians either attracted or qualified for it? Isn't it a similar situation with the firefighters? Like, Bermudians never pass the physical or the mental fitness test? Yeah.
I believe this situation is very similar to fire. And look, at the end of the day, I was wondering, I remember when I was at Hot 1075, I always wonder, do they have to take a psychological test? Because the work that they're doing, it only makes sense. Obviously, you want those who are there to serve and protect to be in great physical condition as well, right?
Yeah. Like, what do you have to pull chase or something?
Yeah. I mean, you want the best. So again, audience, what needs to be done to make policing a more attractive career for Bermudians? What are your thoughts? Traveling Trotty says, bring back the police cadet program. Teray, are you old enough to remember the cadet school above Victor Scott?
I have a secret for you. I actually went to the police cadets. Like, I was I think I went a couple times to the police cadet program. So it was still around when I was in high school. I don't know if that's still the case, but I went a couple times.
But the So what I'm talking about is the Earls Police Cadet School was just up the hill from Victor Scott Bishop Spencer Road, right? So back then, it was they used to march all through the area. It was it was a numbers game. They had a lot, and I remember my cousin was a part of it back then. But now you only see like 10 to 15 cadets in the program. I don't know how many were there when you went, but I think that's an integral part. Like, what happened with the cadet program? I mean, what changed with the recruitment? We will be having the commissioner of police on next week, so these are some questions that maybe he can answer for us. Michelle White's asking, is the challenge that we are policing our family and friends? Well, it is a small community, right?
Yeah, every job like interacts with the public, who can be our family and friends. If you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, perhaps the challenge is greater as a police officer. Maybe you're more inclined to bend the law. Like, there's a concept of pulling tickets. Like, you can get your ticket pulled if you know a police officer. Maybe like corruption is higher in the police station, but I feel like it's always the same. But back to the police cadet thing, Jamal, it was giving like 15 or 20 of us. And I don't remember going up near Victor Scott. And I only went for like one day and then I never came back. But yeah, I don't think it was as established as what you're talking about.
It's changed. It changed over the years. It definitely changed. But, again, I think right now, people need jobs. People's Pharmacy had some job ads the other day. Your fire service recruiting, police are recruiting. I mean, we can't say there's a lack of jobs in Bermuda. It's just whether or not we have the capacity to actually do the jobs. But what are here's the question, Teray. Here's a question. Audience, yes or no? Would you consider a career in law enforcement? Would you? And this is an interesting question because I look on LinkedIn a lot, right? And I see people who work in certain industries who sometimes get positions made redundant or the like, and they're looking for work. Like, you see profiles where they say looking for work. And, during the pandemic, people were making the shifts, right? Would you shift? Like, would you consider a career in law enforcement if your current career went off track? Like, if you were, and Teray asked me that off air, so I guess I have to answer too. No, you know what? I think Gary Moreno corrected me before, but previously I didn't meet the height requirement, I believe.
There's a height requirement?
There used to be. I think if any police officers out there, including Gary Moreno, communications manager, can you confirm whether there's still a height requirement? I was discriminated against.
Yeah, I was happening a lot to
you. I'm 6'2". So I don't know what, maybe I was too tall.
Jamal, come on. We started off on a good foot. No lying. You got your discount. The universe and God rewarded you, and now you're on air lying.
Why are you doing me like that? Can you let me have my 6'2" moment?
You wouldn't even say I'm 5'9". How you jumped to 6'2"?
I mean, some people have never met me in person. They might believe it. Teo says, I wish I could feel your pain, brother. Look, long back, stay out of this. Traveling Trotty, would you consider a career in law enforcement, audience? Would you consider a career in law enforcement? Traveling Trotty says no. All right. Who else? Would anyone, yes or no? Would you consider a career shift if you were looking for an opportunity? Would you consider a career in law enforcement? Teray, would you consider a career in law enforcement?
No, I don't think I have the personality for it. I think I've become attached to every person that I'm supposed to be helping and then help no one. So yeah, no, not for me. But I'm also wondering if Bermudians are hesitant to join the police force because they feel like they would be like socially isolated or excluded. They're like, oh, you're an op, or oh, you're a police, or you're a cop. Like, you remember in Medea when they had like the family reunion for the graduation and the police officer was basically iced out by the rest of the family? Maybe it's that. I mean, Black people in police, like, we have a very tumultuous relationship. So perhaps it's that. I
think growing up, it was like that definitely in Bermuda, where people were not interested in, policing and the like they sort of police as, and I hate to say it like this, they didn't see him as one of them, right?
Yep.
For me, I remember being told that I couldn't be a police officer because I was too nice. And I don't think it's that I was too nice. It's just that I didn't agree. I always thought I could be a police officer because I grew up around police officers until I realized that I didn't agree with many of the laws on the books. That was my issue. And be a police officer, you pretty much, you're whether you like the law or not, your job is to basically abide by it and protect people based on it. And that would be my challenge. It's more of a conscience, my consciousness. Like, can I remove the conscience and do the job based on what the law is? And for me, it was a no.
Well, that's good that you did that instead of getting into the police force and just going based off your own rules anyway. Because I feel like some people may be doing that.
Yeah. I mean, it's challenging because, we need officers, especially Bermudians want local officers. But then when we get local officers, do we respect them? I mean, it's hard to respect them if you don't respect the laws that they're there to serve and protect and keep, people in line with. But again, audience, what needs to be done to make policing a career, make a policing career more attractive to Bermudians? What do you think needs to be done? Larry Marshall says better incentives are needed. Like, what kind of incentives are we talking though? Like, what is it? Just pay? Is it what kind of incentives are we thinking? WKD Lama says, if current policing improves, it will make it attractive to potential recruits. I think there is a poor public perception of policing in Bermuda. What would you say the perception? Like, from me growing up, the perception was that the police were corrupt. They take the weed and they smoke it. Stuff like that was said in high school when I was there. Like, what are perceptions among your peers, Teray?
Just like avoid at all costs. Don't cooperate with them. Like, very anti, like, us versus them mentality. So I think it's perhaps the same.
What I find strange about that, and we had Assistant Commissioner of Police Antoine Daniels on recently. I was just watching that show over last night as I was editing it, and that was right before Cop Match. And what I always get from, like, when the police send out the press notices, or when we have a police officer on, there's one thing that they say all the time, and Gary Moreno says it often as well. Most of us know a police officer. Speak to an officer you know. And why I say that is, in such a small community, we are connected to an officer in some way. We either, socialize with them. They may be relatives. They may be friends of friends or friends of relatives. I find it interesting that we can still have this negative attitude towards them when they live amongst us, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe it's because when they are living amongst us, they're one of us. But once they put on that uniform, there's like this psychological effect of, okay, now you're no longer doing our job. And that's another layer is the police service, like, that's completely separate from the Bermudian, like, government. Like, it's morally associated with the UK and the governor. So I feel like there's an additional kind of buffer between Bermudians and the police service.
Interesting. Yeah. What are your thoughts, audience? What needs to be done to make a policing career more attractive to Bermudians? We've got Charles H. Jeffers II. He says, I admire how Kenton Trott has remained included in the community. Maybe he should be a part of the recruitment team. I forget he's a police officer sometimes. He definitely does his best to engage people where they are. Suzanne Ingham says, I tried many, many moons ago and they told me I would not make a good cop. They were right. No, thank you. And I commend them. She just accepted her fate. She's like, nope. Yeah.
Why are they turning everyone away? Why are they turning everyone away? This is why they have no reserves.
They don't have that luxury anymore, apparently. But I guess here's an interesting question. Since locals don't want to be officers, right? Are you okay with non-Bermudian officers?
That's a deep one.
Yeah, because remember, there used to be a lot of British and West Indian police officers. Would you be okay with non-Bermudian police officers? Yes or no, audience? Would you be okay with non-Bermudian police officers? Since locals don't want to do it, would you be okay with non-Bermudian police officers? I'm gonna tell you what. I said this when we were fighting conscription. You want to go recruit someone to march for the Queen's Parade? I'm fine with it. I'm just not doing it.
Mm.
So I'm that person. Don't ask me this question because I'll give you an answer that might shock you. But yeah, I'm okay with having. Look, at the end of the day, if we don't have people who are qualified or interested, and the jobs need to be done, come on down. Come on down. I don't know how your generation and your peers feel about that, but I am completely fine with it, Teray.
It's a tough one for me. I don't know. I feel like that should remain an option, like always, in the 21st century. Like I think it's fine, but I'm also curious, like what gaps exist. Like why is there such a change? Like why has there been such a change? I refuse to believe it's just because people don't want to put themselves on the line, like they said in the article. There has to be some other systemic reason. So I think maybe we can explore both.
Yeah. Okay. Michelle White says she's okay with non-Bermudian officers. WKD Lama says I prefer locals. Most of my experience have been expats. So let's bring Teo Dill in. He probably got denied as well because of his for us in a news break.
Morning, fam. Good to see you. Very happy to be able to spend this time with you this morning. I will answer very quickly 2 outstanding points that need to be addressed immediately.
I can't understand a damn thing you're saying. What's wrong with your mic? I know you. I mean, Steve Wonder not letting you see your mic today.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Quickly, 2 things I got to address immediately before we hit the news. Number one, we've been through this several times before that you're shorter than me. I'm 5'7 3/4", which means I can say I'm 5'8" without feeling too guilty about it. You got to stick with 5'7", own it, claim it. That's what it is.
No 6'2", brother. No 6'2".
Ain't no 6 involved. I mean, the closest 6 you can get to is 5'6". You got to round down for that to make sense. Number 2, and this is much more serious. I think the reason that the Bermudian membership of the police service has declined, it is all part of the experience throughout the developed world of distrust in institutional power. Right? Like we simply do not believe that these systems that govern us are worth our time, trust, and respect. So on the basis of that decline, obviously people are just not going to participate, which now that is a much more complicated question to address. But yeah, that's what I think. Now, as far as the news is concerned,
I think that goes to my point quickly. That goes to my point of why I couldn't be a police officer is I didn't agree with many of the laws that I started learning about that were in the books. So I thank you for saying that.
Yeah, precisely. That honestly, you're the case in point. Now, as far as the news is concerned, we got to step up our storm prep because Ernesto is not playing around. The Emergency Measures Organization shared as much, encouraging the community to respect the fact that Tropical Storm Ernesto is projected to run across Bermuda early Saturday morning as a Category 2 hurricane. Now, last night's heavy rain caused by a completely unrelated cold front might have interrupted your prep purchases. Running in and out of Lindo's with your storm groceries after work without drowning yesterday would have been difficult. However, if that happens again today, get wet and get what you need to stay safe. Since, as National Security Minister Michael Weeks made clear, quote, residents need to prepare now before conditions worsen. Time is of the essence. Now is not the time for complacency.
Stay safe, Bermuda.
Yeah, don't play.
We've got to be smart and stop looking at this as a day off. I just want to say that much. Go ahead, Tay.
Absolutely. And according to a video that was published just about 8 hours ago, Ernesto bumped into one of our Caribbean cousin countries, Antigua and Barbuda. Here is a short excerpt from an intrepid live reporter on the scene of the impact.
Of Tropical Storm Ernesto being unleashed here in the south of the country. It's definitely not the strongest storm the country has ever faced, but certainly it is making its impact felt here. The seas are being whipped up, the tides are coming in, and very, very rough sea conditions. The wind certainly whipping up the waves, and also getting the trees here swaying here in the south of the country, driving wind, driving rain. The rain, for example, has picked up since we've been here over the past few minutes or so. There's a few vehicles on the road, one passing us as we speak right here. But this is, of course, an evidence of the sound and fury of Tropical Storm Ernesto in the south of Antigua.
Now, the thing that I loved about that more than anything else is A, it wasn't that serious when it hit them, so thank goodness for that. But B, our Antiguan cousins communicate with car beeps just like we do.
Yep.
You can't tell me we're not family. Right?
Brothers out there in a storm trying to get an Emmy award, and you're talking about hey, like, bro.
He didn't want to be rude and not speak.
Yeah,
that's your mate's football teammate.
Such small town stuff, ain't it?
Now, to transition completely, we would have a horrible story that you may be gradually becoming more familiar with. 2 Bermudian women have died in a car crash, while another has been seriously injured in that car crash near Fort Lauderdale after being T-boned by a Tesla driven by a teenager at high speed. This is a local news report of the tragic event.
Were killed and 4 others seriously hurt after a deadly crash in Fort Lauderdale on Sunday. BSO deputies got a call about a 3-car crash near Northwest 27th Avenue and Northwest 6th Street just before 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Fire rescue says 6 people were hurt and taken to the hospital. 2 of them died. A food truck owner near the area captured this video here of the aftermath on his cell phone, showing BSO deputies and people nearby trying to pull the victims from their cars. We blurred out the video as the deputies were pulling those victims out.
I heard a loud, like a cannon. It was so loud, like a bomb or a grenade was let off. I seen all the smoke. I seen all the cars piled up on top of each other. Seen the one car flipped over in the street.
Terrible, man.
Yes, it's absolutely horrifying. If you want to learn more, and I can understand why you would, and I can understand why you wouldn't. But if you Google 2 dead Broward County, and you hit the news tab, it'll be the first thing that pops up. It breaks down everything that's known as at this moment. But, obviously we're not going to share any specific details about anybody in particular until we are sure that time has passed, family has been informed, they've had a moment to grieve, and then, we'll take it from there. But yeah, that's horrifying. Now, in much more positive and reassuring news, shout out and props due to Kaleidoscope Arts Foundation for clearing their fundraising target with nearly 140 grand coming in to help them continue their work empowering art for young people, all from community support. Now, this is really gratifying since this money came in less than 3 months after Kaleidoscope announced in June they had a 90-day timeline to get 135 grand to stay sustainable. Founder and director Fiona Rodriguez Roberts thanked all their community partners for supporting the appeal, saying, quote, "It was difficult and frustrating for me to think about Kaleidoscope shutting its doors, but luckily our community spoken and reminded us how essential we are. Classes will be running at Kaleidoscope this September. Hit kaf.bm to learn more about that."
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm super gassed about it. Kaleidoscope is a wonderful institution. Now, the big weather story, Jay and Teray, for the rest of the week, obviously, is the approach of what will be Hurricane Ernesto, probably a Category 2. It might feel today, or last night at least, like he's pulled up ahead of schedule, what with all that heavy rain, and that should continue periodically over the next 48 hours. Now, all that rain that we're getting, it's due to the friction between 2 masses of air, aka a frontal boundary, rather than Nesto himself. We won't have to, strictly speaking, batten down the hatches really until Friday afternoon at the earliest, but it's Wednesday today. You got the assignment. Please do not play around.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Teo. I just want to send condolences to the family and the community for the Bermudians who were lost just south of me here. But also as it relates to the hurricane, last Friday I had sent something to you guys in the TDH group, and someone had sent like No one's talking about this development. Looks like it's heading right for Bermuda. People, there's enough technology during this time of year where we can all do our part to stay ahead of the game. And I know a lot of people are jokingly saying, where's my refund for some slow jam party? Or does this mean there's no Connie game? I say this respectfully. It's all fun and games until you lose something or someone. Take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
1,000%. It's the year for us.
Yep. Today is World Calligraphy Day.
What? Calligraphy?
Yeah, it's like the beautiful handwritten letters.
Is that still a thing?
Yes. It's,
No. There used to be like calligraphy clubs in high school.
well, they still exist. At
Really?
UFTV had a calligraphy club. I wasn't a part of it, but it's definitely not as popular as it once was, but it still exists. And if anyone is interested, you should start a calligraphy club in Bermuda. And today's the day. Happy Calligraphy Day.
Happy Calligraphy Day. Okay.
Toray, have you ever seen Jay's handwriting?
No, I haven't.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, you know what? I also don't have great handwriting either, so it's okay.
It's levels to this.
He writes like a doctor. So
no, it's true. So, when I take handwritten notes, Jay, you remember sometimes I'd be writing stuff down and I couldn't read it afterwards.
His handwriting's not like his brain, folks. Hey, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Later, brother.
But yeah, I appreciate y'all very much. See you soon.
All right, no worries, folks. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We've got Dr. David Sam, the president of Bermuda College. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 1 minute 57 seconds.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose Peoples, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it Peoples, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. Peoples, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses, whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment. We provide 100% guarantee on approved loans, simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Summer is almost here. Dive into the season with dog floats and dog pools. Enjoy 20% off West Paul's dog floating toys and shop our life jackets for safety in the water this summer. Get all your summer needs before the holidays and events begin. Don't forget to stock up on poo bags and check out Dicky Bags, the poo bag holder that locks in the smell until you can't dispose of it. Remember, even dogs need sunblock, so visit Noah's Ark today, Bermuda's most trusted animal supply store for all your summer essentials, and ask us about our rewards program.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamal Hartman, Teray Tull. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please do not forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Folks, if you haven't already, make sure you give us a like, a love, a thumbs up, whatever platform you're on. Make sure you share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We're about to let's give a warm TH welcome to the new president of Bermuda College, Dr. David Sam. Greetings, sir. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. How are you?
I am well. I'm excited. What about you?
We're excited to have you, aren't we, Teray?
Very excited.
Yeah, Teray loves school, whereas me, I wasn't so much the lover of school. So we're very different in that respect. So you're going to help change my mind about academia by the time this conversation's over, Dr. Sam.
That is true. We have some programs for everyone.
Oh, for non-traditional students?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You just called me an old student. It's all good, Dr. Sam. But thank you for doing this. Thank you. Notice you're making your rounds. But for our audience's sake, first of all, congratulations on being made the president of Bermuda College. It's great to have you. And I will be honest, I remember when we mentioned on this show that new president was named, I encouraged the audience to, welcome you and to give you a chance to do what needs to be done to improve our only institution of higher learning. So congratulations to you. That said, can you just give the audience a bit about your background, where you're from, and how did you get into education?
Thank you very much. I was born and raised in Ghana, West Africa, and I found my way to United States first as an exchange student in high school. And then I decided to return to United States to do my college work. I joke about the fact that as a youngster, I wanted to play professional basketball in America and make a lot of money. For those who've seen me or know anything about me, I'm 5'4". And so my DNA said it wasn't going to happen. I had to find something that will ensure that I could get what I was dreaming for in basketball, and it's education. Education is the surest way to socioeconomic upward mobility. So I threw myself into it, kept going to schools, different colleges and universities. Every level of education you complete opens doors. And so I ended up with 6 degrees, 1 undergraduate and then 5 graduate degrees. Wow. And those have opened doors for me. And I fell in love with community colleges back in the 80s because that is where I believe the action is. Community colleges respond to the needs of the local communities that they serve, and it's open to any and everyone. When you go to universities, usually you have a certain age group. But when you go to community colleges, you have people from the age of about 14 or in some cases 13 up to 80 plus. And that allows us to serve the needs of our communities.
Dr. Sam, there's a couple of things you said. Number one, Teray is following in your footsteps in terms of all these degrees that you collected. So we're proud of that. But secondly, I hope that one day I can come to the realization of my height and understand that I'm never going to make it to the NBA. Not there yet.
I did.
I had those same dreams as well. I wanted to play for the point guard and so on. But your path is incredible. And I think learning where someone comes from and how they got to where they are is the first step into understanding how we as a community can help them to succeed. And stating that, what made the prospect of leading Bermuda College such an attractive opportunity?
Well, I looked at the fact that this is a wonderful institution that is standalone and yet still has been thriving for 50 years. We are celebrating our 50 years of existence. And during that time, Bermuda College has produced physicians, lawyers, top government officials, name it, professionally, teachers, homemakers, engineers. And so I thought it was attractive from that point of view. But the whole impetus of looking outside of the United States came when my kids, with our first Christmas without their mother, came in Jamaica, and we enjoyed it. And I made a remark, I can get used to this, and that it would be good to look at the islands as a possible place of spending a few more years. And within 10 days of that statement, I saw the position that had already been advertised for a month. And I decided I was going to throw in my hat and see what would happen. And that was at the end of January when I applied. Then I went through a Zoom interview and then in-person interview. I came on the island around the middle of April and interviewed with stakeholders at the college and the Minister of Education. And then I had the opportunity I had the offer, and it's an honor and I believe a privilege to be in this role.
And again, congratulations on being in the role. We do have a question from the audience real quickly. Charles H. Jefferson II, he was just asking, had you visited Bermuda prior to this opportunity?
No, I had not, but I had been following it, reading about it because of an old schoolmate who had decided to settle here. When I went to secondary school in Ghana, Form 1, I had a senior in the fourth year by the name of Dr. Ted Boche, that many of you know. And so I read about him over the years. And when this opportunity came, I said, if he thought it was a great place to live, then that was a stamp of approval for me. But I knew a little bit more than probably the average person out there.
All right. Good stuff. It's interesting because I know so many Bermudians who have relocated to Ghana over the last few years. I think there's definitely a great connection there. But speaking of Bermuda College, whenever you step into a new role, regardless of industry or whatnot, there may be some challenges. What do you see as immediate challenges at Bermuda College right now, and how do you plan to approach them?
Well, I can identify two. First of all, enrollment has been declining for a few years. And let me quickly add, we are still admitting students. Classes start on the 26th. And so anybody who is interested, please contact us. If you are wavering, well, still contact us and try our great professors that we have in the institution. We can meet and exceed your expectation. So we'll be working on enrollment. It's a challenge everywhere, but this place is unique in the sense that the decline in the birth rate, which is in many parts of the world, but also the out-migration. And we want to make sure that people know what a great asset the college is in this community. And as we celebrate our 50th anniversary, we'll make sure that more people get to know us to be able to utilize the institution. The second challenge, of course, has been the instability we've had at the highest level of leadership. The president retired, and then the vice president left, and there were a couple of other high-level positions that became vacant. And there was a patchwork this past year. My role now is to stabilize the leadership here. And we have great people at the college, and tough decisions will be made. People will be moved into other roles. We will utilize our personnel to be able to stabilize so that we can work on programming that will attract more people to the college.
Yeah, indeed.
I love to hear that, enrollment and maintaining stability among leadership. But as president of Eldridge Community College, you were responsible for a lot of infrastructural developments, like a new library, a multi-purpose building for adult education programs, a center for emergency management, and more. Do you have the same plans for Bermuda College?
Absolutely. Center for Emergency Planning, you can never have more than enough of that, because you need people, the heroes that work in these professions. And as I used to say in Elgin, even heroes need training, good training facilities to maintain their credentials and their abilities. And so I would like to see that. We have a great board of governors who they've worked very hard to acquire resources for us to upgrade inside and outside. And we also have the Bermuda College Foundation that is raising some funds to help upgrade facilities. And so all of these are plans that are down the road. What I need to emphasize is that I am a team player. I work with various constituencies to advance the mission of an institution. At the moment, a major constituency is not on campus here, and that is the faculty. The best thing that happens at Bermuda College is what happens in the classroom. The faculty members are not here yet. Next Monday, they will be here, and they will be integral in all that we are going to do to advance the mission of the institution. The other group is, of course, the students. We are eagerly awaiting them. We have a little over 400. We want more to come so that there will be energy and festivities on this campus. So next week and the following week are going to be exciting times for us here at Bermuda College. And as I said earlier, we are still admitting students to go to school this fall.
Team player. Registration's still open. Sorry, Teray, but his energy is just everything. Go ahead.
It is. No, I love it. I feel like education, you need to have very enthusiastic and excited presidents. I'm very happy that I can feel your enthusiasm. But now that you've left your post as president of Elgin College in the Midwest, which has become a really a big area for the politicization of education in the recent election cycles, I'm curious, what lessons you're taking from that hot political environment and education. What lessons are you taking and bringing to Bermuda from there?
Well, let me first mention that Illinois has been very progressive over the years. And so some of those hot topics have not affected Illinois. The colleges there still emphasize diversity, equity, and inclusion. But over the years, and I was fortunate to work at 7 different colleges in my career before coming here, I have some experiences that I will bring here. And it starts with the notion that student success is the most important thing that you need to do. The emphasis has to be on student success. When students come, they have expectations. Bermuda College will meet those expectations and exceed them, because that's why the students come here. And then college offering a variety of programs, curriculum, courses. See, many of the younger group that comes to the campus are not exactly sure what they want to do in the long run. It is incumbent upon us, through our advisors, through our faculty and others, to be able to provide them a roadmap. There are many, many paths out there. And at Bermuda College, you can discover yours. Whether you are going to transfer or you're going to go straight to work. When you leave here as a transfer student to one of the universities in UK, Canada, United States, or elsewhere, we expect you to do as well or better than the native students at those institutions. And if you are going to work right after, you will be able to show your employers that you are very well trained at Bermuda College. And so these are some of the lessons or the emphasis that I place on what we do as an institution.
Love that. Yeah. Good, Tori.
So what has settling in Bermuda been like for you? Could you describe the transition process?
Yeah, it's wonderful. First, I went to Cap Match. It was great. It was great. I played cricket a little bit when I was in high school, but I have not played it in so many years. And I was able to identify the team that I wanted to win. At first, I was going to be neutral. In fact, during my interview, someone just asked the question, Somerset or St. George's? At that time, I didn't know. And when I was hinted, I said both. When I came in, I was neutral until I found out that Mr. Frey, the captain of of Somerset is an employee at Bermuda College.
Burp, burp.
What a member of my team. And so I was all in for Somerset. And that was when even before I found out that they had been winning the last several years. And so, but having said all of that, Bermuda College is for everyone. For everyone. So I will be at St. George's recruiting, and I'll wear the appropriate uniform when I am there. The adjustment has been very good. A lot of very good people at the college have helped me with settling in, the resources that I need and so forth. It's been wonderful. I have two children, Michelle and David, and they decided to come after my first week of work to check on me, to make sure I was eating well, I was adjusting well, everything. So they were here this past weekend. David left yesterday, and Michelle, hopefully, knock on wood, will be able to leave as planned on Friday. It's been exciting, and I've met quite a few people, and I'm looking forward to meeting more people. The faculty starting next week, and then the students in a couple more weeks.
Indeed. Well, Dr. Sam, I am disappointed in your cup match team, but I completely understand. Folks, don't judge him. No one's perfect. He can be for some. No one's.
Dr. Sam, your cup match team is a testament to your 7-6 degrees. You made a very smart choice.
I'm outnumbered on the show. Everyone except one other for Somerset. But we got some questions from the audience for you, Dr. Sam. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, he's asking, how is the Bermuda College going to use AI to educate this present generation? Interesting.
Yeah, AI and technology as a whole, that's instruments to be able to improve what we do. And Bermuda College is already doing that. I'll be working closely with the faculty to see what has been done up to date, to be able to encourage and support. You see, the thing is, AI is new and at the same time is old. Just think about it. Whenever you've been typing things on your phone, there are suggestions made. That is part of AI. Now it's full blown. And so we have to be able to utilize it to improve what we do in the classroom. It will accelerate many things, but there are some things that students have to master before they go to the next level. Let me add this. The jobs of the future for the next 10, 20 years, about half of them do not exist at the moment. So many people will have to pivot in the years to come to be able to succeed. Bermuda College provides you the foundation from which you can pivot very easily. Otherwise, you will be starting all over at each time, and you shouldn't. With AI, you'll be able to pivot, but there's still that foundation that you need. And it includes critical thinking, computation. Yes, AI can do all of that, can help you, but you need it to be able to direct AI in certain directions. And Bermuda College is ready, has been working on it, and will expand the utilization of AI in our instructional programs.
Indeed. I love that. Manuela John's asking, is there any intention of recruiting students from overseas as there were years ago for the hotel college?
I would like to. I am a product of international education. Left Ghana, went to United States, and also earlier in my career, I was a director of international programs, which included recruiting students to come to the colleges that I worked at. There is something magical about having international students in your classroom. They have different points of view, different ideas, and they add to the whole educational experience. So, yes, I would like to see that. Secondly, usually the lights are on in the classroom. There may be some few seats left. So if you're able to recruit students, it's not going to cost you more just because you brought in these students. In fact, there is a financial gain in bringing these students. But I know there are some things that need to be done, some questions that have to be answered with immigration, housing, and all of those. We will put our heads together and come up with ways that will make it more attractive for international students to come here. Well, this is certainly an attractive place. People pay to go and just watch the ocean at many places. Yeah, you can see the ocean from your classroom. That is an attraction that many students will gravitate towards, and we'll work on it.
I like that selling point. Put me on the recruitment team.
Yes, and it's a community effort. All of us.
Yeah.
Yes, all of us.
Indeed, Dr. Sam, you've worked pretty hard. Hearing about your journey, going on LinkedIn, looking at some stories involving you. You've worked hard. At the end of the day, you will want to retire and enjoy life at some point. When your time is up at Bermuda College, when that day comes, what do you hope to have achieved in this position?
Well, the easiest way to describe it is to leave here better than I found it. That will be the first thing. But it will be the quantum of many things that we've graduated more students, we've improved the facilities here, the morale is higher than when I found it. All the things that great institutions have. And I'm proud that that is what happened at Elgin, where I served for 17 and a half years, that I know and I've been told that definitely the college was better at the time of my departure than when I arrived. And that is underscored by the fact that there's an organization called Achieving the Dream, and the college, Elgin Community College, is called a Leader College of Distinction. And then in 2023, Aspen Institute named Elgin Community College as one of the top 25 community colleges out of 1,047 in the United States. And so by the time I retire, we may not be in those situations because we are outside of the United States, but people can look at it and say, yes, this team of people at Bermuda College, because it's not going to be only me. I'll be working with a team that starts with the Board of Governors, the faculty, administrators, staff, and the students who will come through. People will look at the team and say, yes, the team has done a very good job.
I love the sounds of that. And what I really love about it is you put a great emphasis on this is a team effort, it's a community effort, and I could not agree with you more. Dr. Sam, congratulations. Thank you for coming on. And please know that myself, Teray, and the rest of our team, we are friends of Bermuda College. If there's anything we can do during your tenure to assist, just let us know. Just remind people, registration for this fall semester is wide open still, correct?
Yes, wide open. And when you come to the college as a student, yeah, stop by my office. Tell me about your journey. I want to meet students. I want to know what your journey is, and I'll get in your business because we want you to succeed.
Indeed.
We want you to succeed. So thank you for the opportunity to be here this morning. This is wonderful. And I look forward to coming back one day to update you on what we've been doing at Bermuda College.
Thank you, Dr. Sam, and all the best in this position. Don't worry, we have your back. So thanks again, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
You as well. Dr. David Sam, folks, if you appreciated that conversation, please do us a favor. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Bermuda College's new president, Dr. David Sam, as I said when he was announced, now let's get behind him and support him. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 1 minute, 51 seconds. Give our final thoughts on today's conversation, but also it's a daily play for somebody or something.
Oh.
Stick with us.
Great news. Our Beat the Heat special has been extended through August 31st while supplies last. Keep cool with our further discounted Carrier high efficiency mini split units, plus enjoy 10% off Comfort Zone oscillating fans, Comfort Air units 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, and Hunter ceiling fans when you pay with cash. Don't miss out on these hot deals to stay cool.
Did you know 3 out of 4 people say that they have a good understanding of life insurance? But do they really? When asked how much the yearly cost would be for a 20-year, $250,000 level term life insurance policy for a healthy 30-year-old, 80% overestimated the cost by 5 times the amount. Ready for this? The true cost for that policy is about $220 a year. That's as little as 66 cents a day, or $20 a month. So let's put this into perspective. Compared to other monthly costs, isn't getting life insurance a no-brainer? If you can trim back on some of these expenses just a little bit, it will allow you to dedicate the savings toward an affordable life insurance policy. Contact one of our life insurance agents today on the right policy for you.
Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Paired with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Big Show. Thanks again to Dr. David Sam, Bermuda College president, for taking the time to have a discussion with us about his plans and his vision for Bermuda College. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have conversations like this with you on a regular basis. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia. Bermuda Trivia episode 4 of the game show is now available on bcgtv.com, folks. I want to go check it out. Some of you all don't know as much about Bermuda as you think, so make sure you go check it out. And if you want to be a contestant on Bermuda Trivia, the game show, just send an email to contact@bermudatrivia.com. Also, the game is available at various stores throughout Bermuda, 5 editions through at various stores in the island. But follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. Teray, are you ready? This is not a Bermuda trivia question. It's a music question today.
Okay. I think I'm ready.
All right. Audience, help her out.
Please.
Teray, do you know of a popular artist known as Lizzo?
Yes.
Teray, what is Lizzo's real name?
Lizzo's real name? I don't know.
I didn't know either, but audience, no one knows because the audience is Googling at this point if they haven't answered. Well, okay. I don't know. That sounds like Google. Stacey Ann Brown. Stacey Ann Brown says Melissa Jefferson. Yes, it is. So I was like, so how'd you get Lizzo from Melissa?
Yeah.
And that she just turned the S's into Z's. So.
Oh, Melizzo. Okay.
Yeah.
That rocks.
I that took a lot of work for me to kind of make that connection, that correlation. So yeah.
Like, what does she look like? Some people look like their name, but
right. Yeah.
nothing was coming up. Okay. Melissa Jefferson, period.
So what's your record now? Are you 0 for 2?
Yeah, I'm still in the O column.
Okay, we're working on you, Teray.
But I'm gonna come up. I mean, I'm glad that I'm with you because you're for St. George's, so that means you don't mind supporting. You know, you're gonna stick with me through these losses. So I'm very happy that I have you. Very loyal.
We're looking for some people who give me a second. We're looking for some people who to be on this show who are actually St. George. This is enough for the summer, folks. I'm telling you. But let's wrap it up, Teray. Final thoughts on this morning's discussion regarding police recruitment and also the conversation with Dr. Sam.
I think Dr. Sam was great. It's clear that he's very enthusiastic. I mean, like 7 degrees, 6 degrees is just wow, like so impressive. So I'm really excited to see where he goes at Bermuda College and those updates that he said he's going to bring. I'm really looking forward to hearing those. But about the police office and recruitments, I think it's an interesting conversation that I don't think is going to end here. Maybe there's going to be some incentive programs from the government. Maybe the community is going to step up. I know Charles Jeffers talked about Kenton Trot. I'm interested to see where that goes. But I also think what Teo said is very real. Like it's just representative of the fact that people don't trust the institutions that exist today. And I think we're at the point where we have to either rectify it and change it, or things are going to go really bad. Like we're at that tipping point where we can make change or things can turn very bad. But I'm on Team Hope. So I think we'll be making changes.
Yeah, indeed. I think as far as the recruitment for police officers, there's work that needs to be done. I'm no expert in this area. I'm not an expert at recruitment and I'm not an expert at policing. What I do know is that during my time as a child, it was cool to not look at police favorably. It was cool to not want to be a part of the institution. But as an adult, as I grew and, fighting my own causes, I understood why I could not make a good police officer because I didn't agree with the laws. It's a lot. So, and I don't hate police. Let me be clear. Family and friends. It's not about the individuals. As Teo mentioned, and you just reiterated, it's the institution. So my hope is that we can get the right people into the Bermuda Police Service that will do the honorable thing, which is protect and serve and build an institution that people feel is worth trusting in their interest going forward. So as far as Dr. Sam, his energy, man, is everything. And he kept mentioning team. This is the kind of leadership we probably need across Bermuda. Good energy. We need people who it's not about but it's about doing things as a team and using the experience and success that he had elsewhere to kind of build up what we need. Now, I kind of have been in following the reduction in enrollment. Right, it's definitely been lower, and that's due to a number of factors. But I think right now more than ever, if I can say anything to Bermudians is, utilize Bermuda College for what it's worth for economic reasons, if nothing more. And give yourself and your country a chance by keeping the money flowing there as long as possible. I know some people like myself, I needed to get out of the environment, but if you're able, I would encourage anyone to take advantage of the community college option in Bermuda, at least from an economic standpoint. Teray, do you have any daily inspiration for us?
I do. It's from a Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, and he says, "You have power only over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength."
I love that.
I'm in my Stoic era.
Yeah, you can control this. All right, folks. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you give us a like, a love, a thumbs up. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Please don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making as part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Teray Tall. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.